live on ABC 22. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Here's three quick stories you're seeing on social this morning. Bengals wide receiver A.J. Greene is retiring. The team congratulated him on Twitter. We have all the retirement announcements the last couple weeks.
I know, right?
Yeah, great career though. I mean, he was like the OG top dog receiver, so good stuff.
See the GOAT?
No.
No, okay. AMC is rolling out a new price system. The cost of tickets will be based on where your seat is. I kind of like it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess if you want to sit in the front row for cheap.
Yeah, I don't like the front row seats.
I don't either.
I always get super nauseous and I can't do it.
I'm good. A woodpecker in California stashed.
Oh, I love this story. I saw it.
Oh my God, at least 700 pounds of acorns inside of a house.
How?
A pest control worker had to pull them all out, and all the acorns filled 8 garbage bags.
He befriended the woodpecker, apparently, and then the woodpecker just filled his house with holes, or with acorns.
Lucky guy.
Yeah, great friendship. And now to this morning's top story. President Joe Biden saying he's, quote, getting ready. Tonight, all eyes will be on the U.S. Capitol for his second State of the Union address.
Dayton 24/7 Now's Alex King is live with what you can expect. Alex.
Yeah, well, between recent mass shootings, economic concerns, and the Chinese spy balloon, many are wondering what exactly this year's State of the Union address will include. According to the Associated Press, there are a number of topics to be on the lookout for. Gun violence in America and the suspected spy balloon that was shot down this past weekend off the coast of the Carolinas are definitely possibilities. The president could also weigh in on a high inflation and the impact it could continue to have on the economy.
And so that's one thing you're going to hear directly from the president, that a core part of any viable economic strategy needs to answer the question of how are you going to keep lowering costs for families. The president will outline specific ideas on how to do that, including building on the prescription drug reforms that we were able to enact to give more people the relief from prescription drugs.
Some are also expecting the president to speak on the war in Ukraine. He's continuously said the U.S. is committed to helping. You can watch the State of the Union address on Fox 45 and ABC 22 tonight at 9. We will also continue our team coverage with local political science experts after the address concludes. Stay with us because we're going to talk more on what you can expect coming up next. Live in Dayton, Alex King, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
And following President Biden's State of the Union, Dayton Mayor Jeffrey Mims will give his own address. He'll give a State of the City speech tomorrow morning at 8:30 at the Dayton Metro Library on East 3rd Street. He's expected to talk about Dayton's accomplishments for the last year and his plans moving forward. Of course, our cameras will be there and we'll bring you everything he has to say, so be sure to tune in to ABC 22 and, of course, Fox 45. We will take that live for you when he begins speaking around 8:30.
Good morning. Here's what we're looking at. We do have some clouds now streaming across the area. We are going to see not only the clouds, but even a couple of showers. For now, the showers actually over in towards St. Louis. Probably a broken line as you move further to the north. So that is an area we'll have to watch out for. Again, not that I'm expecting a deluge of rain, but we are going to see the threat of showers during the middle part of the day. So it's one of those that if you have any plans, may want to just launch the umbrella into the car in the back seat. You're probably going to need it at some point over the next few days. Now, if you're putting the kids on the bus, no major issues now through, I would say, 9 a.m. But again, during the middle part of the day, those showers are likely. As for the roads right now, haven't seen any tie-ups or issues thus far on the interstates. Just a reminder, Miamisburg Centerville Road, that area between Byers and the interstate, the right lane is closed for ongoing construction.
There's also in that briefing the discussion of what could be done to avoid that, and the thing that could be done was this controlled release.
That was Governor Mike DeWine on the next steps for that derailed train in East Palestine, Ohio. You're taking a look at aerial footage taken just last night. You can see the smoke billowing out after a controlled release of hazardous materials to avoid an explosion.
Very pleased. NS and all of our partners are very pleased on what took place. The detonation went perfect. and we're already to the point where the cars became safe. They were not safe prior to this.
Norfolk Southern Railway used small charges to blow a hole in 5 train cars carrying vinyl chloride, allowing the chemical to spill into a trench. Then they ignited flares to burn it away. Officials say the chemical was unstable and worried it could send toxic fumes and deadly shrapnel into the air if it exploded. Authorities have evacuated a 1 mile by 2 mile area around East Palestine as a precaution, even expanding into Pennsylvania. Coming up at 5:30, Lauren Linder takes a look at what into this major project.
Right now, the city of Centerville, the police department needs your help to find a missing teen. Take a look at your screen right now if you have a moment. Heaven Walters was last seen in Dayton on January 22nd. She's 16 years old with red hair and blue eyes. She's 5'2", about 180 pounds. Her nose is pierced and she has a scar on her left eyebrow. Police believe she could still be in the area or even in Cincinnati. If you have any information, you're asked to call Dayton Police at 937-333-2677.
Sierra Chapman is also still missing from the Dayton area. Now the Doc Ellis Foundation is organizing a search to help bring her home. It's happening Saturday, February 11th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at Possum Park in Dayton. The address is on your screen. The foundation asks volunteers to wear purple to show solidarity with the high number of missing people who are minorities. Missing persons cases involve people of color in the U.S. are statistically less likely to be solved, and cases involving Black Americans tend to stay open unresolved for up to 4 times as long as other races. And here's another look at Sierra Chapman's information. She's 30 years old, 5'5", 115 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. She was last seen December 27th, leaving her ex-boyfriend's apartment in Trotwood. Her purse, car, and other personal items were found later in Middletown, but there's still no sign of her. As we mentioned before, her disappearance is considered suspicious. If you see her or know anything about her whereabouts, call Dayton Police at 333-COPS. You can remain anonymous by calling Miami Valley Crime Stoppers at 222-STOP or submit anonymous tips at MiamiValleyCrimeStoppers.com. Today marks 24 years since 9-year-old Erica Baker went missing. Her case gaining national attention through the Dayton 24/7 podcast, Missing Erica Baker. Now, on February 7, 1999, Erica put on her raincoat, leashed up her dog, and started to walk through a Kettering park. She was never seen again. 2 decades later, her family and investigators are working to bring her home. Tonight at 6:30 on Fox 45, Dayton 24/7 Now talks with the new detective keeping this case from going cold, and her dad, who's still fighting to keep her memory alive. You can download the Missing Erica Baker podcast by scanning this QR code right there on your screen, or search for it in your favorite podcast provider.
Well, this morning, Oakwood City Schools selected the district's next superintendent, Dr. Neil Gupta. Dr. Gupta, right here behind me, is a graduate of Miami and Ashland universities and brings more than 20 years of educational experience to Oakwood. A welcome reception will be held tomorrow at the Smith Library.
Join us this Thursday, February 9th for the 3rd annual Epic Pet Give-a-thon, Dayton 24/7 Now. Once again, teaming up with the Humane Society of Greater Dayton to raise much-needed funds for animals in their care. The event runs all day Thursday right here on Dayton 24/7 Now, but you don't have to wait to give. You can donate right now by scanning the QR code right there on your screen or by texting EPIC23 to 76278. That's EPIC23 to 76278.
5:08 our time right now. Don't forget your headlines are scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
An inspiring story that will have you staying aware for one type of cancer we don't hear as much about. I'm Liz Bonus. She's a running coach inspiring others. It is just ahead.
Capitol Hill takes a look into the suspected spy balloon. In minutes, John Lawrence previews the hearing set this week from both the Senate and the House.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now.
On ABC 22, you're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
We want to give you a live look right now from Capitol Hill behind us, where House Republicans are now considering a new symbolic resolution regarding the suspected Chinese spy balloon.
Despite disagreements about how quickly the craft was shot down, both Republicans and Democrats agree this is a serious issue for the U.S. John Lawrence reports.
The suspected Chinese spy balloon is grounded, but it's still metaphorically hovering over the United States, especially Washington, D.C.
This is a national security risk. China should not be permitted to do this. It's unfortunate that the balloon was permitted to go all the way across the United States.
President Joe Biden said Monday that the takedown of the balloon didn't damage the U.S.'s relationship with China.
They understand our position. We're not going to back off. We did the right thing. And there's not a question of weakening or strengthening. It's just reality.
According to the Pentagon, at least 3 other suspected Chinese spy balloons entered continental U.S. airspace during the Trump administration.
This is not the first time and will not likely be the last time that the Chinese have sent surveillance balloons over the continental U.S.
On Thursday, sources say the Senate and the House are scheduled to hold separate classified briefings on the balloon.
The Chinese Communist Party is a very real threat to Americans. We have no beef with the Chinese people. It's about the continued provocation by the military apparatus and the Chinese Communist Party.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Good morning. Here's the view right now in over Dayton area. We are looking at a morning where I think it's a little bit more cloudy. We do expect the clouds and maybe just a spot or two of blue sky to move in during the morning hours. But it's really as we get into the late morning hours that we could be looking at some scattered showers. I don't think it's going to be a heavy duty soaker, but there will likely be some embedded rain in amongst the showers. As for temperatures, note we'll be in the 50s despite the fact that we are going to be looking at those scattered showers. For tomorrow, we'll wake up to temperatures in the 30s from basically midday today through at least the end of daylight tomorrow. We are looking at another period of drier weather. So it's about 24 hours on and then 12 hours on as more showers move in late Wednesday through the early part of Thursday. Then for Thursday afternoon, we clear out and it does look like another 24-hour period before the next weather maker moves in. So an active pattern overall. 51 for today. We'll get down into the 30s overnight. Do think for tomorrow we'll be up in the upper 40s. So it'll be relatively, I would say, mild. We won't see too much of a temperature drop for Thursday morning. For Friday, temperatures do drop and we'll continue to see them tumble throughout the day on Saturday. Friday night to Saturday, it's conceivable some snow mixes in. Beyond that, temperatures do stay, I would say, above average into early next week. As for this morning, we have still continued to see, I would say, a smooth morning commute thus far. Obviously, it's going to get going in earnest here over the next 2 hours. Only one thing of note, and that's the right lane Miamisburg Centerville Road. That's closed for the next 45 minutes.
What started as a way to grieve now keeps a mother and wife from giving up.
Dayton 24/7 House medical reporter Liz Bonas shares this story of inspiration.
Hey there, everybody. She's a running coach now raising money for research and awareness of pancreatic cancer through a national program called Project Preble.
Their goal is to live in a world without pancreatic cancer.
There's nothing Jen Rapine would like better than to outrun pancreatic cancer. She started running and coaching track at Kentucky's Villa Madonna School after she lost her mom at age 56 to this cancer.
It became my outlet. It was how I grieved. It's how I feel close to my mom.
Now, Jen's inspiring students by simply teaching them you overcome obstacles one step at a time.
She shows us how to keep going and push through things, and running has always helped me with that.
Jen is the type of coach that never lets you do anything alone. She runs practically every workout with us.
Jen is now part of Project Purple's Endurance for a Cause. It uses athletic events such as the New York City Marathon, which Jen's running in next month, to raise money for families living with this cancer and new research. Those fighting for the cause couldn't be more grateful.
The survival rate when I started my postdoc about 7 years ago was 6% for 5 years survival for pancreatic cancer. and it's been creeping up to 12% now.
I feel really lucky because she did survive 5 years, but most patients die within a year of diagnosis.
Jen, who's now a mom too, says what started as her way to grieve has now become her way to give back to a cause and a young track team that also didn't allow her to give up.
They keep me going. They make me better.
Project Purple also helps with training if you don't have a Jen in your life and you're interested in getting involved with Endurance for a Cause. I'm medical reporter Liz Bonus. Now back to you.
Our time right now is 5:18. Celebrating a special table, why today's all about the elements, and the rich history of February 7th for chemists.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now. Live on ABC 22, you're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Good morning. We're going to start things out by looking at temperatures, and we'll get to your pet of the day because this one I'm going to enjoy. We've got upper 30s and low 40s for this morning. Effectively, it's a pretty mild start to your day, and all day today will be a mild day. The only thing is during the middle part of the day, and I am talking anywhere between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m., that's where we will have the threat of showers. I'm not going to rule it out even later into the evening, but it does seem like that faucet will shut off. Now, as for the pet of the day, the reason why I'm really enjoying this is Sir John Louie. That's obviously the cat here. Big thank you to Kelly for sending it in. Sir John Louie looks like a climber, which my cat at home, living with my parents, I should note, he tends to be a climber as well. It is a morning where, at least at this point, we're not seeing any rain, but again, rain is possible later during the middle of the day. As for the roads, they're dry right now. No major incidents on 75. Just a reminder, it is Tuesday. Kids are still at school, so give yourself a little bit of extra time around those bus stops.
Today's number of the day asks about the state of the COVID-19 pandemic. Voters are saying the pandemic is basically over. In a recent Scott Rasmussen National Survey, 50% of voters said the worst of the pandemic is now behind us. That number reflects a similar positive attitude that voters held in May of 2021. The poll also found voters are divided in their thoughts on the government response to the coronavirus. 42% said the government overreacted in ways that were ultimately harmful. However, 43% of voters said the government did not.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture proposed major changes to school lunches in an attempt to make the meals healthier, with particular emphasis on reducing sugar and salt. The plan is set for a 60-day public comment period starting tomorrow. And this is a multi-year effort that was developed with input from school nutrition professionals, public health experts, and parents. Now, if you want to lower your cholesterol levels, soybeans might be just what you need. While past research has shown that adding soy to your diet or increasing the amount of soy you already eat can decrease cholesterol, a new study has found it might be just as effective as commonly used medication to manage cholesterol levels. And a new study shows that 35% of Americans report making hard, sometimes dangerous compromises if they can't afford their prescription medication. That's according to research administered by iPrescribe and Dr. First. Now, medication non-adherence already contributes to 125,000 preventable deaths in the U.S. each year, and the economy is making that even more complicated. From the NASDAQ market site, I'm Jane King. Here's your health.
Chemists and history buffs alike can celebrate today. It's Periodic Table Day. On February 7th, 1863, English chemist John Newlands published the first table of elements. It only had 56 at the time, and it evolved into the modern periodic table we know today by the 20th century, with over 118 elements. Fun fact, Argentina is actually named after the element silver, which is abbreviated for Ag, for the Latin word Argentum. I took a chemistry class in high school and was not doing well and decided to drop out.
I was so bad at chemistry,
I was awful at it.
3 for 3, by the way. Chemistry, one of those subjects that just for whatever reason never resonated with me. And then I think I had to take like an organic chemistry in college, and just nothing.
The one resident scientist in here is even out on chemistry.
Yeah, I was going to say, isn't it kind of your like?
No, the only thing. No, not really.
No?
I mean, the only thing you have to know is like nitrogen is a certain percentage of the atmosphere, and water weighs less than nitrogen, because nitrogen H2O is less than N2.
So it's like diet chemistry. Meteorology.
Yeah. I like that. Diet chemistry. All right. Okay. Yeah. I'll agree.
I love the look you just gave me.
Oh, because I just am thinking in my head, I don't do math or science. I'm a journalist. So that's what literally my excuse for everything is. You want me to add? Yeah. No, not happening.
We just flap our gums.
Pretty much.
Our time right now.
We're just the meat puppets. That's what the chief photographer calls all on-air people.
5:26 still to come.
President Biden getting ready to deliver his State of the Union address tonight. We're going to have team coverage throughout the day, and I'll talk more about what you can expect coming up next.
And smoke still rising in East Palestine. Just ahead, Lauren Linder looks at the major project performed Monday in the village.
In today's Tech Bites, the artificial intelligence race heating up. Google is rolling out Bard, a rival to ChatGPT, which can write essays and pass law school exams. Google plans to roll out Bard to the public in the coming weeks after testing it with a small group. It's designed to explain complex subjects or provide simple information like party planning tips. Meanwhile, a Microsoft event today is expected to detail plans for bringing ChatGPT and the company's search engine Bing together. A recent report revealed that integration could include a larger search box for chatting as opposed to submitting search queries. Finally, Twitter users may notice a change. The app will now default to the timeline where they last left off, whether it's the For You or Following list. The change is for both iOS and Android users. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Sickness can spread fast, but with Lysol, you can go into protect mode. For the things you touch. Nothing kills more viruses on more surfaces than Lysol disinfectant spray. And when it comes to your laundry, adding Lysol laundry sanitizer kills 99.9% of illness-causing bacteria detergents leave behind. Lysol, what it takes to protect.
For fast sore throat relief, try Vicks VapoCool Drops with 2 times more menthol per drop and the powerful rush of Vicks Vapors for fast-acting relief you can feel. Vicks VapoCool Drops, fast relief you can feel.
With New Chapter multivitamin gummies, you get so much more than just more nutrients, more research, and more organic ingredients. You also get less sugar, and that means less candy posing as vitamins. New Chapter, that's well.
Live on ABC 22, you're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Here's 3 quick stories you're seeing on social. We've got a winner! Woo woo!
Yeah.
Do they get chicken dinner?
No.
No.
Well, they could buy like a lot of chicken.
Someone in Washington State won the Powerball jackpot of 756 million buckaroos, the 5th largest jackpot in history. You don't like buckaroos?
No, I just
Is it
enjoy
very, very boomer for you? I'm sorry.
No, it's very mom of you.
Whatever.
You give me the dad joke, Grab.
What is, it's a good, it's just a better way of saying dollars.
I'm just proud of you. A 7th grader from
Sure
North
you
Dakota
are.
made a layup, aced a free throw, and nailed a 3-pointer before stunning the crowd.
See if I give you the good read after this.
$10,000. It's pretty sweet. Good for that kid.
I know. It was really cool.
What would you do with 10 grand as a 7th grader?
You got to bank it.
College.
Bank it, kid.
That's right.
All right. An amazing video. A paddleboarder caught the moment a pod of dolphins decided to join him in the crystal clear waters off the coast of the Pacific. How amazing. I mean, they're just like hanging. Hey there. Hey, bro. Just going to swim along.
I'd be nervous to jump out and knock me off.
No. Dolphins are nice. They're not the great white.
Now today's top story. Officials continue monitoring the wreckage of a massive fiery train derailment on Friday in East Palestine near Youngstown.
The NTSB is now investigating, and officials have let out a controlled release of hazardous materials. Lauren Linder looks at the major project carried out yesterday.
Flames shot up into the air and smoke filled the skies surrounding East Palestine, Ohio.
Everybody worked together and accomplished our task here safely.
As crews conducted a controlled release of 5 derailed cars carrying vinyl chloride, where a Norfolk Southern train crashed Friday night. It comes after late Sunday, specialists discovered at least one of the car's pressure release devices wasn't working properly and created a high concern for an explosion. State and local officials in Ohio and Pennsylvania put out emergency alerts, warning anyone within a 1x2 radius of the wreckage to evacuate if they hadn't already, and spent hours perfecting a plan to control the situation.
It's the last option. We look at other options, it's the last option.
According to Scott Deutsch of Norfolk Southern, they created a 2.5 to 3 inch hole inside a tank car to allow the hazardous material to escape and drain into a trench they dug up and lit up with flares to burn off the chemicals. More than 2 hours later, this was the scene from above, pits filled with chemicals on fire. Since then, the flames diminished.
We just wait for these little remaining fires to go out, and then we can continue on.
Representatives from U.S. Environmental Protection, along with state agencies, say air quality remains at safe levels, along with bodies of water. But residents can't return just yet.
We need that area to have the fire out. We need it to cool down so that we can operate.
Once that happens, crews can then start moving the cars from the tracks to a safe area to then be reviewed by the NTSB.
Railroad and their contractors will have to go in, inspect the area, and then we'll have to go from there.
Right now, officials don't know when people can return to their homes, and they say they want to make sure it's safe and secure. Another update is expected this morning.
Good morning. Right for now, we're not seeing any rain on the radar, but we do expect there to be some showers moving through later on this morning. I don't expect it to be a day where we're going to see tons and tons of rain, but it's also worth pointing out at the same point, we are starting quite mild. It does feel like 30 degrees, so not quite sure it's jacket weather off, but probably a jacket morning for a lot of us. By 7 a.m. should be in the low 40s. We'll be, let's say, mid to upper 40s by 9, and then the showers come in during the middle part of the day with temperatures in the low 50s. How about that for February? Obviously, it is dry right now, but we could be looking at some more rain later on. Roads right now, 75, looking in good shape. Haven't seen any major issues or tie-ups across the area. Of course, we'll continue to keep you updated if we do see any.
Right now, the rescue team from Virginia is now heading to Turkey to help look for survivors from the devastating earthquake on Monday morning. Task Force 1 from Fairfax County's Urban Search and Rescue will take 79 people and 6 dogs overseas. A second team from Los Angeles will also head out to help. Syria's civil defense shared this aerial video from the northwestern part of the country. Search crews are working to move debris of collapsed buildings. At least 5,600 buildings were destroyed in both Turkey and Syria during the magnitude 7.8 earthquake. Over 5,000 people have been killed and thousands more injured. Well, this morning, President Joe Biden is preparing to deliver his State of the Union address.
Some think this could be a launching pad before he possibly announces a re-election campaign. Dayton 24/7 Now's Alex King is live with details. Alex.
That's right, Nathan and Elise. There's a lot of expectations for tonight's address because there's been a lot going on. We've seen Chinese spy balloons, mass shootings, police brutality, and economic concerns that continue to grow. In a tweet, President Biden actually said, quote, "The past 2 years have been the strongest for small business applications on record. Our economic plan is about economic growth that benefits everyone, all while building our local economies from the bottom up and the middle out," end quote. Both sides are now speaking out ahead of tonight's address.
What we're seeing is extraordinary. Record job creation, as the president has pointed out, more created in 2 years on his watch than 4 years on any other president's watch.
We've got a lot of really bad things that are going on right now, and I know that the president's going to try and put his best spin on that as he possibly can.
The parents of Tyree Nichols are expected to be in the audience, as well as Brandon Say, who interfered in the Monterey Park shooting that killed 11 people last month. You can watch the State of the Union address on Fox 45 and ABC 22 tonight at 9, and we will continue our team coverage with local political science experts after the address concludes. Stay with us, as we're going to have more on what else you can expect for tonight's address and as President Biden prepares. Live in Dayton, Alex King, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
Our time right now is 5:38. Don't forget your headlines are scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
Valentine's Day, of course, is fast approaching. Just ahead and stretching your dollar, Megan O'Rourke has some tips on affordable gifts for your special someone.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now.
Good morning. Temperatures today should get low to mid 50s across the area. Frankly, it's going to be a warm day. This particular model is suggesting that we will see even warmer temperatures, but either way, whether it's 51, 55, it's going to be quite mild. Now, as for today, we are going to still see the potential for some showers. I think that once we clear out those showers during the middle of the day, we'll have about 36 hours before the next system comes in. I had to do some quick math there in my head. Not easy when it's 5:41 in the morning. We will be looking at this rain moving through overnight Wednesday into Thursday. Thursday by midday, it should have moved out. Then from there, another 24-hour period without a whole lot of wet weather. This one, though, will likely continue into parts of very early Saturday, perhaps even mixing with some snow. Second half of Saturday, Sunday, and into parts of Monday will be generally dry. But we are looking at a somewhat active pattern over the next few days, so keep that in mind as you plan out your days. You may want to have that umbrella just in case in the back of your car.
Valentine's Day, if you can believe it, is just a week away, and finding a gift for that special someone, of course, can be expensive.
If you're still looking and don't want to go broke buying one, Megan O'Rourke has some ideas to stretch your dollar and still impress your loved one.
Good morning. According to Wallet Hub, every year U.S. consumers spend close to $24 million on Valentine's Day, making it the third most expensive holiday. But with a little creativity, you don't have to sacrifice the sentiment. So here are a few ideas. First, make a romantic dinner together at home. Get dressed up and make a night of it. If cooking isn't your thing, take a trip down memory lane and recreate one of your favorite dates. Maybe you can stream the movie you first saw together or get takeout from the restaurant where you had your first date. Another option, shop for gifts together. That way you can set a budget and you're more likely to stick to it. You could also buy something for your household that you'll both enjoy and help you stretch your dollar a little farther. Back to you guys.
We want to know how you're stretching your dollar. Grab your phone and scan the QR code.
And chime in a picture or video and share your money-saving tips. You may see them featured right here on Dayton 24/7 now.
Unpopular opinion, I'm sure, but how I save money on Valentine's Day? I just don't celebrate.
Take my wife to White Castle.
There you go. Is that where you took her on your first date?
God, she would kill me.
You know, I think ours was the $1 movie and Golden Corral.
Wow.
Big spender.
Wow. Wow. Man, you take it.
Cracker Barrel. All right, I guess we got to read.
God, you take it a lot easier on your husband than you do me. Jeez.
Whatever. We were poor and in college.
Ah, the
what
good
do you
old
want?
days. Our time right now, 5:44 for the love of food.
Yes.
Saying I do to Cracker Barrel. In minutes, the wild Valentine's Day promotion from the restaurant chain.
I mean, I'm not mad about it. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Money Sense is sponsored by Abbey Credit Union.
If you're looking to purchase a home, you're probably looking to get informed about your home loans. A home loan is also called a mortgage. Here are some important things to know about getting a home loan. You should do your research on the different types of loans available. These include fixed rate, adjustable rate, FHA, and VA home loans. You should also know your credit score. Having a good credit score will ultimately help you receive a better rate term on your loan. Finally, find a lender you trust. Spend time researching different lenders based on rates, reputation, and the loans they specialize in. If you have any questions about this process, visit our local pros right here in town.
Abbey Credit Union is celebrating 85 years. We can help with low-rate mortgage, home equity, vehicle, or student loans. Abbey can even consolidate your credit card debt with no transfer fees. Visit any of our branches today and find out what Abbey
on ABC 22. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Good morning. We are looking at just some cloudy skies for right now. Perhaps there could be an area too where we do get just a little bit of blue popping in, but by and large, today is probably going to be a cloudy day overall. We're still tracking the potential for some showers, although right for now there is a big area where there's not a whole lot. Some of this will likely fill in over the next few hours, and I do think we'll see at least a chance of a few showers during the middle part of the day. So think 9, 10 at the absolute earliest out to the west, clearing by the time we get towards 3 or 4 further to the south. Rest of the day, just a mix of sun and clouds, but tilted way more towards the clouds. Tomorrow could actually be a pocket or two of sunshine, but by the time we get into the evening, here we go again. And this is more of an overnight event with periods of potentially heavy rain possible for Thursday itself, or early on Thursday, probably by middle of the day, meaning noontime, that should clear out. So it's going to be an active pattern over the next 24 to, let's say, 36 hours with the potential for some heavier bands of rain. Now, as for this morning, we haven't seen any major issues on the interstate. The roadways seem to be in good shape, at least locally. The only thing of note right now, probably another 10 minutes or so, the right lane on Miamisburg-Centerville Road is closed. That right by Byers Lane. Let's head over to Cincinnati, see what's going on there.
So far, your trip down to Cincinnati this morning looks good. We have 4 cameras along I-75. Here it is by Sharon Road. That construction area not affecting anybody this morning. Of course, that could change later on. Overall, if you're heading down to the airport, maybe you have a flight this morning, your trip down to CBG looks fine. 275, no matter which way you go, should get you where you need to. We're tracking an easy commute down here for now. For now, with your Triple Team traffic.
All right, our time right now is 5:50 this morning. Finding your cat the perfect gift. Don't give me that eye roll. Valentine's Day for pets, while your furry friend might be harder to shop for than that someone special.
I cannot roll my R, so I'm not going to try. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
In this morning's GMA First Look, a consumer warning when using Facebook Marketplace.
I was getting very legitimate looking emails.
Sam Silverman posted pants for sale on Facebook Marketplace, and she says a buyer agreed to the price, and then what looked like official correspondence from the payment app Zelle arrived in Silverman's inbox. The email said she needed to establish a Zelle business account and make a $300 initial transfer to the buyer, who would then credit her back the difference. Sam says the stranger never sent back the money.
We've had reports on our scam tracker, items not being what they're supposed to be. In some cases, people sometimes don't feel safe selling and buying in such a public forum.
And coming up at 7 a.m., if you use Facebook Marketplace, we'll have the expert tips you need to keep you and your money safe. With your GMA First Look, I'm Becky Worley, ABC News, New York.
She found it. The feeling of finding the psoriasis treatment she's been looking for. Sotyktu is the first of its kind once-daily pill for moderate to severe plaque psoriasis for the chance at clear or almost clear skin. It's like the feeling of finding that outfit psoriasis tried to hide from you, or finding your swimsuit is ready for prime time. Dad! Once daily Sotyktu is proven to get more people clearer skin than the leading pill. Don't take if you're allergic to Sotyktu. Serious reactions can occur. Sotyktu can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB. Serious infections, cancers including lymphoma, muscle problems, and changes in certain labs have occurred. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, liver or kidney problems, high triglycerides, or had a vaccine or plan to. Sotyktu is a TYK2 inhibitor. TYK2 is part of the JAK family. It's not known if Sotyktu has the same risks as JAK inhibitors. Find what plaque psoriasis has been hiding. Ask your dermatologist about Sotyktu for clearer skin.
the Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Good morning and welcome to the Watson's Weather Patio, where this morning it's a lot warmer than it was yesterday. And I was just remarking about yesterday, how the wind was cutting through us. It doesn't look like we're seeing as much of that. So yes, temperatures are warmer, but also conditions are a little bit nicer outside. It's 38 right now in Dayton, 36 in Sydney, 38 in Oxford. I believe yesterday we were right around the freezing mark. A couple of us actually dipped down into the upper 20s. It's mainly upper 30s today, but there are a few spots that may still hang around the 40-degree mark. And I'm looking at you right now, Eaton. We are going to be getting temperatures eventually into the 50s today, but it is going to be a morning where we could see some showers by the very tail end of it. Right for now, though, it is just cloudy and a little bit of a breeze outside, but no major weather issues as you step out the door right for the next half hour or so.
Well, Valentine's Day, wow, if you can believe it, we are just a week away, and for some I should say, there might be some more love for the cat than that special someone. This Valentine's Day package from Fancy Feast is sold out. It is aimed at people who want to spend the holiday with their special kitty. The Cuddle Collection has a snuggling sweater with ears on the hood. It also has some fuzzy socks, heart-shaped toys, a glass of wine, and of course, Fancy Feast cat food. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. It costs about $62. No word on whether they're going to restock this. Oh, okay. Well, hopefully they do.
That guy was not smiling. He was secretly crying inside. Forget the cat. Nothing says love like Cracker Barrel. The restaurant chain is offering a Valentine's Day giveaway. 5 lucky couples have the chance to win a free Cracker Barrel for a year. Here's the catch. Free Cracker Barrel for a year.
Free.
Then you get engaged at the Cracker Barrel location. Interested couples need to post a video of their Cracker Barrel proposal to Instagram between February 10th and 16th. The posts need to include a caption that explains why they decide to propose at the iconic restaurant. Candidates also need to follow the restaurant's official Instagram account.
We all met at the Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, that's right. And you know what? We got married playing
that fried steak.
We got married playing checkers by the fireplace.
Oh, no, I love, what's the game that they get?
The little pin game?
Yeah, what is that? Do we know the name of it? I don't know.
Just these little peggy things.
Little pegboard things. Yeah. I love that thing.
I know, I always get one.
Yeah.
Okay,
well, you don't believe
whatever.
me? I'm really good at that game.
I am good at it too, but I don't need to brag about it.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I'm terrible at it. What are you guys doing? Like, I don't know how to make it. Like, my sisters won it. My dad's, I think,
maybe we're just more logical in life.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, you know, you're sitting there. I'm sitting over, you know, standing over here.
Nick's focused on the biscuits. What can we say?
Biscuits and gravy.
Biscuits and gravy.
Biscuits and I'll tell you what, they're biscuits with butter and honey. Y'all go try that.
Bomb.com.
Y'all go try that.
Y'all go try that.
Y'all go try that.
There's nothing like that smell at the gift store as you walk in. And then at the end of dinner, you sit outside and you rock in those chairs.
I wanted me a good old rocking chair.
Yeah.
Very Midwest life.
Amen to that. Go to Kohl's afterwards. We got a lot more coming up on ABC 22 in the morning.
I need my Kohl's cash.
The State of the Union address taking place tonight. Coming up next, I'm going to break down what is expected from President Biden coming up.
5:57 our time right now. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
on ABC 22. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Here's 3 quick stories you're seeing on social. AMC rolling out a new price system. The cost of tickets will be based on where...
This doesn't seem to be matching up behind us, so...
There you go.
There we go.
I think we missed the A.J. Greene story there. He retired, by the way.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
All righty. So coming up next on the feed this morning is...
Strong start.
Can we... Go ahead? Nope. All right, a woodpecker. Okay, nope. Oh,
Okay.
right. Where are we going? Jeez, so I'm just about to say forget it.
We got it. There's acorns.
Okay, a woodpecker did it. My goodness.
That's right.
Move on.
There's also in that briefing the discussion of what could be done to avoid that. And the thing that could be done was this controlled release.
That was Mike DeWine on next steps for the derailed train in East Palestine, Ohio. Now you're looking at aerial footage taken last night. You can see smoke billowing out after a controlled release of hazardous materials to avoid an explosion.
I'm very pleased. NS and all of our partners are very pleased on what took place. The detonation went perfect, and we're already to the point where the cars became safe. They were not safe prior to this.
Norfolk Southern Railway used small charges to blow a hole in 5 train cars carrying vinyl chloride, allowing the chemical to spill into a trench. Then they ignited flares to burn it away. Officials say the chemical was unstable and worried it would send toxic fumes and deadly shrapnel into the air if exploded. Authorities have evacuated a 1-mile by 2-mile area around East Palestine as a precaution, even to expand into Pennsylvania. Coming up at 5:30, Chloe Messagitis will be live from East Palestine with the latest.
Here's what we're looking at this morning. It is a cloudy start to your morning overall. We don't have a whole lot of green on the radar, but every once in a while we do have just maybe a spot of green here somewhere in the area. Temperatures upper 30s and low 40s with 42 right now in Dayton. So you can see those temperatures have warmed up even over the last 10 minutes from the last time I was outside. We were in the upper 30s again about 10 minutes ago. Meantime, the wind chills are in the 30s. Few of us have gotten down into the upper 20s. If you are putting the kids on the bus, here's what you need to know. Temperatures 30s, 40s at 7 a.m. By 9 a.m. we'll be mid to upper 40s, and by 11 we should be low 50s with the potential for a few showers. That is the time period of not necessarily concern, but a little bit more activity across the area, because right for now, judging by our cameras, it is pretty quiet outside on the roadways. 75 is in good shape, and no major issues on 35, 470 or 675 either.
Well, this morning, President Joe Biden says he's getting ready. Tonight, all eyes will be on the U.S. Capitol for his second State of the Union address.
Dayton 24/7 Now's Alex King is live with what you can expect. Alex.
Yeah, well, between recent mass shootings, economic concerns, and the Chinese spy balloons, many are wondering what exactly this year's State of the Union address will include. So, according to the Associated Press, there are a number of topics to be on the lookout for. Gun violence in America and the suspected spy balloon that was shot down this past weekend off the coast of the Carolinas are definitely possibilities. The president could also weigh in on high inflation and the impact it could continue to have on the economy.
And so that's one thing you're going to hear directly from the president, that a core part of any viable economic strategy needs to answer the question of how are you going to keep lowering costs for families. The president will outline specific ideas on how to do that, including building on the prescription drug reforms that we were able to enact to give more people the relief from prescription drugs.
Some are also expecting the president to speak on the war in Ukraine. He's continuously said the U.S. is committed to helping. Now, you can watch the State of the Union address on Fox 45 and ABC 22 tonight at 9. We will continue our team coverage throughout the day and with local political science experts after the address concludes. Stay with us because we're going to talk more about other topics that President Biden could be touching on later tonight. Live in Dayton, Alex King, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
And following President Joe Biden's State of the Union address tonight, Dayton Mayor Jeffrey Mims will give his own address. Now, he'll give a State of the City speech tomorrow morning at 8:30 at the Dayton Metro Library on East 3rd Street. He is expected to talk about the city's accomplishments for the past year and also give his plans moving forward. Of course, our cameras will be there and will bring you everything he says, so be sure to tune in to ABC 22, but also you can catch that live on Fox 45 beginning at around 8:30.
Sierra Chapman also still missing from the Dayton area, and now the Doc Ellis Foundation is organizing a search to help bring her home. Now it's happening this Saturday, February 11th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at Possum Park in Dayton. The address is on your screen. Now the foundation asks volunteers to wear purple to show solidarity with high number of missing people who are minorities. Missing persons cases involving people of color in the U.S. are statistically less likely to be solved, and cases involving black Americans tend to stay open unresolved for up to 4 times as long as other races. Here's a look excuse me, at Sierra Chapman's Sierra Chapman's information. She's 30 years old, 5'5", 115 pounds, with black hair, brown eyes. She was last seen December 27th, leaving her ex-boyfriend's apartment in Trotwood. Her purse, car, and other personal items were later found in Middletown, but there's still no sign of her. Now, we mentioned before, her disappearance is considered suspicious. If you see her or know anything about her whereabouts, call Dayton Police at 333-COPS. You can remain anonymous by calling Miami Valley Crime Stoppers at 222-STOP or submit anonymous tips at MiamiValleyCrimeStoppers.com.
Right now, Centerville Police need your help finding a missing teen. Take a look at your screen right here. Heaven Walters was last seen in Dayton on January 22nd. She is just 16 years old with red hair and blue eyes. She is 5'2" and about 180 pounds. Her nose is pierced and she has a scar on her left eyebrow. Police believe she could be in the area still or even in Cincinnati. If you have any information, you're asked to call police at 937-333-2677.
Today marks 24 years since 9-year-old Erica Baker went missing. Her case gaining national attention through the Dayton 24/7L podcast, Missing Erica Baker. Now, it was on this day, February 7, 1999, Erica put on her raincoat, leashed up her dog, and started to walk through a Kettering park. She was never seen again. 2 decades later, her family and investigators are working to bring her home. Tonight at 6:30 on Fox 45, Dayton 24/7L talks with a new detective, keeping this case from going cold, and her dad, who's still fighting to keep her memory alive. You can download the Missing Erica Baker podcast by scanning this QR code or by searching for it in your favorite podcast provider.
Oakwood Schools selected the district's next superintendent, Dr. Neil Gupta. Dr. Gupta, which is shown here behind me, is a graduate of Miami and Ashland Universities and brings more than 20 years of educational experience to Oakwood. A welcome reception will be held tomorrow at the Smith Library.
Our time right now is 6:08. Don't forget to get your headlines scrolling
Should
at the
I walk
bottom of your
over there?
screen and your weather on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
Hi.
Oh, hey, Elise.
The price of procrastination. I'm Angela Brown in Washington, D.C. How waiting longer to get work done could cost you in the long run.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Good morning. Here's what we're looking at for right now. Cloudy skies across the area. We are still seeing those clouds, but no real rain shows, at least not yet on the radar. And this would be the area where we are looking at it. Starting to fill in, although right for now, it doesn't look particularly that prolific. So later on this morning, I'm thinking around 10, 11 a.m., we'll start to see some showers move in. No temperatures well into the 50s. It's right now, I have it at 51 as our high, but it could easily get in the mid 50s. I think it's just a case of, okay, where the showers end up and how much does that cool down the atmosphere, at least temporarily. As for later on today into tonight, it'll be quiet. Tomorrow, pretty much quiet all day. We will have temperatures upper 40s, but here comes the rain. This is more likely, I should say, to be an overnight Wednesday into Thursday time period problem. Could actually be some periods of heavier rain as well moving through. That should wrap up by Thursday at noon. Now, as for this morning, again, it is a fairly quiet morning so far. 675 at 70 looking okay. We are looking at 75 all right. And the major intersections and roads at this point all green. So no major concerns as of 6:12 in the morning.
That's always good news. 6:12 right now, our time. Tom Brady after football in minutes. The quarterback's plans after retiring and when he plans to start his new job.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Live on ABC 22, you're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Millions of Americans considered to be chronic procrastinators.
What are you talking about?
Did they write this story for Nathan?
I'm better.
However, the trait can cost you money and now impact your health.
Dayton 24/7 Now's national desk, Angela Brown, looks at a new study that examines the impact of procrastination on college students. that it might apply to all of us. I feel targeted.
This was a big survey. Over 3,500 college students from Sweden, students who procrastinated more, had worse mental health, and also physical outcomes. The survey could be a red flag for all Americans because nearly 20% of adults consider themselves chronic procrastinators. Phrases many of us have used or heard. I just can't seem to get started. I know I can pull this out at the last minute. I'll get it done. It's okay. Procrastination that snowballs for college students, leading some to hit up Clarissa again.
Usually when they're failing classes, when they've been put on academic probation.
Clarissa is a life coach for college women, helping chronic procrastinators get out of their heads.
It's not like during that, quote unquote downtime, they're actually relaxing. Their mind is busy thinking about and judging them for not doing the work ahead of time.
This study tracked more than 3,500 college students in Sweden. Procrastination associated with worse mental health, disabling pain, and even poor sleep. Social work professor Melissa Brown from Cedarville University looked over this study.
The study was done from August 2019 through December 2021. So, of course, the social and emotional effects of COVID also need to be taken into consideration.
Overall, according to this 2014 study, between 20 and 25% of adults worldwide are chronic procrastinators.
But it would be helpful to also examine what is underneath the procrastination.
And that's exactly what Clarissa does for college students.
Notice the thought patterns that are showing up. Notice how you're speaking to yourself. Notice how you're feeling, because all of those are the reason why you're procrastinating. And if we can identify them, now we have a roadmap to actually break that pattern and replace it with a new one.
Procrastinating can also be costing you money. One study finding a person earning $40,000 a year wastes $15,000 by procrastinating 3 hours a day. In Washington, D.C., I'm Angela Brown.
Good morning. We are looking at right now a finger of warmth all the way from Houston to Dallas, just to the east of Oklahoma City, through basically all of Arkansas and through parts of the Midwest. That eventually will get here later on. That's how we're going to warm up, not just in the 50s today and tomorrow potentially, but actually near 60 degrees on your Thursday. Now, look at this warm air still coming in. It's in the 40s today. Again, I mentioned we could see mid-50s. This may be a little bit warm for some of us. I still think that there could be actually some upper 40s as well. So this would be absolute top end for some of our southern counties. Meanwhile, tonight down into the low 30s. I do think it'll stay generally cloudy. Any rain should wrap up, although for tomorrow we'll be looking at another round of showers moving in late. I think tomorrow will be upper 40s, so it's a case where tomorrow itself is going to be pretty mild considering the average high is in the upper 30s. As for Thursday, that's your hot day, if you will. We'll be 20 degrees above average. It is going to be windy, especially second half of the day. And then from there, we'll get a period of maybe 36 hours, 24, depending on how long that rain lingers into Thursday before the next round of rain moves in on Friday. Saturday and Sunday should be fairly quiet with temperatures returning to the 40s on Sunday after a brief dip down into the 30s. As for this morning, it's been fairly quiet across the area. It's been fairly quiet. We are looking at it. I'm sorry, Elise just yelled at me. And I'm like, what? It wasn't my IFB. It was something going on with the electronics over here. It absolutely just ringed my ear really badly. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on across portions of our state for their traffic situation.
So far, your trip down to Cincinnati this morning looks good. We have 4 cameras along I-75. Here it is by Sharon Road. That construction area not affecting anybody this morning. Of course, that could change later on. Overall, if you're heading down to the airport, maybe you have a flight this morning, your trip down to CBD looks fine. 275, no matter which way you go, should get you where you need to. We're tracking an easy commute down here for now. With your Triple Team traffic guide.
Good morning to you on this Tuesday. Things are really in good shape as you're working your way in from the west this morning. Those 70 eastbound lanes flowing freely into 270 and then continuing into downtown Columbus. If for whatever reason you have to make your way up north, 315 and 71 also look good. We have one little dot right here. That is some road work that is in those 70 westbound lanes, so will not impact your morning if you're working your way in towards Columbus. And things over here on 670 are in fantastic shape right by the airport exit. So if you have an early flight to catch, maybe you have to pick someone up, things are looking good in both directions there without any concerns. I'm Katie McKee with your Triple Team Traffic.
Topping this morning's Dayton Business Journal headlines. Now we know the newest location for the Lebanon-based convenience chain is getting ready to open its doors this spring. Big Mike's Gas and Go invested $5 million in the new store at Neil Armstrong Way and West Main Street in Lebanon. Now, it's the local chain's fifth store and will offer Shell gasoline and quick service drive-through. Big Mike's is already looking to keep moving with expansions. 2 more locations are in the works for Claremont County and Dayton. Now, to read more about this story and others like it, head to Dayton247now.com, click on the news tab, and select Dayton Business Journal.
Well, let's take a look this morning at Tom Brady's Twitter page. After announcing his retirement, the 7-time Super Bowl winner is now preparing for his life off the field and a career in broadcasting. Good for him. He's going to make a lot more money than us. He plans to take the year off and get into TV for the fall of 2024. That's what he said on Monday on Colin Cowherd's podcast called The Herd. Now, Brady explained that if he wants to be fully committed when he starts as a Fox Sports NFL analyst and that, quote, decompression is important, I full-heartedly agree with him on this. Brady, of course, retired just last week after 23 years in the NFL, and I see retired in quotation marks because we'll see if it lasts.
Okay, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
His contract, 10 years, $375 million.
I'm not going to make that in my lifetime, like ever.
A dream.
And like from the time I'm born to my death, I will never make that amount of money.
No, not even close.
No.
Yeah.
That makes me really sad. That includes like gifts and gift cards and like.
He's the GOAT.
He is the GOAT. Can I be the GOAT?
I want to help Tommy.
Am I the GOAT of local TV?
Not that much of a GOAT. My time right now is 6:23. Finding your cat that perfect. Yeah, I don't know why that drives me nuts when you do that, but it does.
Perfect.
Valentine's Day for pets. While your furry friend might be harder to shop.
Your face drives me nuts.
For that special someone.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
All right, time for the pet of the day. Here's what we're looking at for today. Temperatures will be in the 50s. We do have some showers moving into the area, but this is not exactly going to be a day where we want to be outside all hours during, especially the yellow portion of the day. But I don't think it's also the day where you have to be inside all day. And there will likely be some periods during that yellow period where maybe there's less showers, but that may be just you have to step outside and see what's going on over your area. And by the way, big thank you to Pet of the Day, Sir John Louis. I believe that is the entire pet's name. Can't, got to get that Sir in there, British and all that. And thank you to Kelly for sending in your Pet of the Day. Sir John Louis, certainly a fun-looking cat. As for this morning, the morning commute hasn't been too bad across the area. I don't think anybody would ever call a morning commute fun, but alas, it's moving in pretty good order right now, so at least we've got that going for us, which is nice.
Valentine's Day is a little less than a week away, is it? I guess so, yeah. About a week away, actually. And for some, there might be more love for their cat than that special someone. This Valentine's Day package from Fancy Feast is sold out. It's aimed at people who want to spend the holiday with their special kitty. The Cuddle Collection has a snuggling sweater with ears on the hood. It also has some fuzzy socks, heart-shaped toys, a wine glass, and of course, Fancy Feast cat food. It's going to cost you about $62. No word if they're going to be. Yeah, that dude looks. He better be getting paid. Paid for that picture.
He better also have a wife.
Yeah.
Because if he doesn't,
he'll never have one now.
Hey. I have my brethren in singlehood.
So you're gonna take a dog version of this, like
no,
like bacon strips?
Are you gonna take your dog out for Valentine's Day?
No, she's just happy that I'm home with her. Like she's enjoy it.
Dude, you're cold right now.
Of course, I torture myself, but at least it's like, oh, hold on, let me make fun of Nick. No, that looks weird. That cat looked like a hostage situation.
It did. The guy was like, I love my cat, right? And then Mr. Bigglesworth is like, yes, you do. You love me.
I love the hairless ones. Those are my fave because they're so ugly.
Your mom has some of those, doesn't she?
I had one growing up. They're the best.
Those are the ugliest cats on earth.
I know, but they're so dark. They look like Schmeagol from Lord of the Rings.
That, you know what? There's
probably sound like them too.
There are new details every day about Elise that we get that just help explain her personality a little bit more. Our time right now is 6:29.
Back on my meds today, y'all.
Yeah, thank God. Still to come.
President Biden getting ready to deliver his State of the Union address tonight. We're going to have team coverage throughout the day, and I'll have more on what you can expect coming up next.
Smoke still rising on the Ohio-Pennsylvania border. Just ahead, Chloe Mezagaitis will be live from East Palestine with the latest.
But first, here's Genevieve Gorder with America's Steals and Deals.
The following segment is sponsored by Knocking.
The space we live in is so important to all of us, and that really starts with the base of a healthy, clean home, including the air that we breathe. And there are so many pollutants that can affect the air inside of our homes, from our pets, dust, allergens. What's the solution? Here's one. This is the Clean Light Air. It's super compact, easy to use. It even fits in the cup holder of your car. It's an air filter that can remove up to 99.9% of particles you don't want in your house, like smoke, odors, pet dander, air pollution. And this thing is small, but really mighty. It can purify up to 161 square feet at a time. So think about it in your office, your kid's dorm room, for a small bedroom. So many people love using these in the kitchen while they're cooking. Even if you've never thought about the air quality in your space before, you will absolutely feel the difference right away with this product. Place them anywhere your pet hangs out, or when you're going somewhere running errands, put it in your car. It's super quiet. It's super easy to use. And another thing I love, you can charge your devices at the same time. There's a USB port. Add your favorite essential oil to the sponge inside so the air will not only be clean, it will smell great. And today we're offering a 2-for-1, both of these for the price of less than you normally pay for just one. Take advantage of this deal. Go to asadeals.com.
live on ABC 22. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Here's 3 quick stories on social. We've got a winner, chicken dinner. Overnight, someone in Washington, I hate you so much, won the Powerball jackpot of 756 million buckaroos.
Killing it, girl.
Thanks. The 5th largest jackpot in history.
Slaying today.
I know.
A 7th grader from
I got
North
2
Dakota.
messages telling me so. I'm just messing with him.
No, I mean, that happened. 7th grader in South Dakota made a layup, aced a free throw, nailed a three-pointer before stunning the crowd with a half-court shot to win $10,000.
Did you do that?
10,000 buckaroos.
You're gonna let a 10-year-old, what was he, 7?
I'm telling you
or
what.
7th grader, you're gonna let a 7th
overshoot it. I'd be like, Rain Man! And then just miss it.
Rain Man?
Yeah.
Rain Man?
Well, I mean, that's like, anyways, it was a scene from A Long Game Polly. Anyways.
Okay. An amazing video this morning. A paddleboarder caught the moment a pod of dolphins, how amazing is this, decided to join him in crystal clear waters off the coast of the Pacific.
Yeah, better than that dolphin skull story we had yesterday.
Kidding, that's terrible.
A little brighter.
All right, well, this morning, President Joe Biden is preparing to deliver his State of the Union address.
Now, some think this could be a launching pad before he possibly announces a re-election campaign. Dayton 24/7 Now's Alex King is live now with the details. Alex.
Yeah, there's a lot of expectations for tonight's address because there's really been a lot going on. We've seen everything from Chinese spy balloons, mass shootings, police brutality, and economic concerns that continue to grow. In a tweet, President Biden said the past 2 years have been the strongest for small business applications on record. Our economic plan is about economic growth that benefits everyone, all while building our local economies from the bottom up and the middle out. Both sides are now speaking out ahead of tonight's address.
What we're seeing is extraordinary. Record job creation, as the president has pointed out, more created in 2 years on his watch than 4 years on any other president's watch.
We've got a lot of really bad things that are going on right now, and I know that the president's going to try and put his best spin on that as he possibly can.
The parents of Tyree Nichols are expected to be in the audience, as well as Brandon Say, who interfered in the Monterey Park shooting that killed 11 people last month. You can watch the State of the Union address on Fox 45 in ABC 22 tonight at 9. We will also continue our team coverage with local political science experts after the address concludes. Stay with us. More on what you should expect for the address coming up next.
Here's what we're looking at this morning. A much warmer start to your day. Temperatures by about 5 to 10 degrees if you're looking overall, but probably more towards 10 degrees warmer. Remember yesterday we were hanging around freezing. Some of us actually were in the upper 20s. Now it seems to be mid 30s is the absolute coldest, with just about all of us now warming to 40 degrees. And we haven't even had any effect from the sunshine as of yet. Wind chills all in the 30s with a few in the 20s. If you're putting kids on the bus, it is going to be a mild start. We will see some chances of rain during the later portion of the morning hours. That's where it will get low 50s, but I don't see it being a super wet day. Instead, it's more just some few showers across the area. As for the roads this morning, they're dry, so good news there. We haven't seen any major issues. 75, 76, 75, 35 or 4, but just a reminder, we are going to start getting the school buses out, so give yourself a little bit of extra time around those.
Right now, crews are continuing to monitor the wreckage of a massive fiery train derailment near Youngstown.
It sparked an evacuation order for people living in East Palestine. Chloe Messagaitis joins us live this morning with the latest developments. Chloe?
Thanks, Nathan and Elise. Yeah, we are here in the East Palestine High School gym where you can see not too much happening right now, but about one door down, that is where the American Red Cross has been holding the shelter for all of those evacuees, about 25 people in there, trying to catch up on rest and get some sleep after a pretty traumatic few days here in East Palestine. Now, yesterday at around 4:40 p.m. is when the railroad Norfolk Southern was able to have that controlled release. Them and a few first responders were able to successfully do that. So officials say it was a pretty successful day, and everything seems to be going as planned. Now, how do we move on from here? Well, yesterday, Ohio Governor Mike DeWine was able to talk a bit about this in his press conference. He showed us a graphic a bit about if you were in the red zone, which was closest to the trail derailment, that you could have some pretty life-threatening conditions that could be a very big danger there. Well, now we have to think about the homes and those evacuees. Where do they go from here? We're hoping for some type of update this morning, but as of now, we don't have anything. We are going to stick, we are in contact with officials, so we are hoping to hear some more this morning. But as of now, no injuries, so that is a win for some of these evacuees. That's what I have for now. I'll send it back to you in the studio. But reporting live from East Palestine, I'm Chloe Messagaitis. Back to you.
Our time right now is 6:39. Don't forget your headlines are scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
Valentine's Day fast approaching, just ahead and stretching your dollar. Megan O'Rourke has some tips on affordable gifts for your special someone.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
A fabulous southeast Texas sunrise to begin this week, a sunshiny start after their last damp and dreary one. Meanwhile, in Glenwood Springs, Colorado, meteorologist Ed Piotrowski says waiting most of Sunday night into early Monday for snowfall did not disappoint. And from idyllic towns to majestic vistas, a dusting of snow is seen from High Knob, Virginia during the weekend.
For more content like this, follow the National Weather Desk on Instagram.
Welcome to the Watson's Weather Patio, where this morning, no snow on the ground. It's kind of interesting that January, February, been really a dearth of snow for the most part. We did have a couple systems bring in big amounts, but ever since that point, it's been fairly quiet. Instead, what we've seen is a lot of above average temperatures, and guess what? We're going to see that again. Look at Wednesday and Thursday. Thursday in particular, we're running 20 degrees above average. In fact, the only time period right now that I can say will be below average is Saturday. Beyond that, Friday and Sunday, both to look to be in the 40s. Now, of course, when it does get warmer, it typically gets wet during the winter months, and we'll see some frequent chances of rain. A few showers possible later on this morning, but for right now, we're pretty good on the weather porch.
Valentine's Day is a week away, and finding a gift for that special someone can be expensive.
If you're still looking and don't want to go broke buying one, Megan O'Rourke has some ideas to stretch your dollar and still impress your loved one.
Good morning. According to Wallet Hub, every year U.S. consumers spend close to $24 million on Valentine's Day, making it the third most expensive holiday. But with a little creativity, you don't have to sacrifice the sentiment. So here are a few ideas. First, make a romantic dinner together at home. Get dressed up and make a night of it. If cooking isn't your thing, take a trip down memory lane and recreate one of your favorite dates. Maybe you can stream the movie you first saw together or get takeout from the restaurant where you had your first date. Another option, shop for gifts together. That way you can set a budget and you're more likely to stick to it. You could also buy something for your household that you'll both enjoy and help you stretch your dollar a little farther. Back to you guys.
We want to know how you're stretching your dollar. Grab your phone and scan the QR code.
Chime in a picture or video and share your money-saving tips. You may see them featured right here on Dayton 24/7 Now.
Our time right now is 6:45. Getting ready for Super Bowl Sunday. Not the Kelsey brothers, but in minutes we're going to introduce you to the identical twins and a classic sibling rivalry.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now.
Good morning. Still tracking the potential for more wet weather later on today, but for right now it is pretty, I would just say, cloudy outside. May get a couple breaks here or there. We do have some rain out to the west. That will arrive later on this morning into the first part of the afternoon, but by probably mid-afternoon, that should be out of here. Meantime, tomorrow, a dry day. Dry in a sense that the daytime is dry, but the nighttime turns quite wet. Wednesday into Thursday does look like your next weather maker that'll bring steady rain to the area. We could see more rain and perhaps even some snow as we get into Friday, into Saturday. I do think Saturday, generally speaking, daytime will be quiet, but it's that early part of the day. Then from there, Sunday, maybe even parts of Monday, although we're starting to see the chance of a few showers on Monday. As for temperatures, mild pattern sets in. 51 for today, down into the 30s overnight. We'll be back into the upper 40s tomorrow. This is 10 degrees above average, so it gives you an idea when we see Thursday near 60. That is a very warm air mass. We'll continue with temperatures above average on Friday, but will fall during the second half of the day. And then from there, I think Saturday and Sunday will be either side of average, and we will be looking at a Monday where we're going to be bouncing back up into the upper 40s. As for the roads this morning, no major concerns. 70, 75, 35, or 4. Haven't seen any issues even on the side roads at all.
Join us this Thursday, February 9th for the third annual Epic Pet Give-a-thon. Dayton 24/7 Now once again teaming up with the Humane Society of Greater Dayton to raise much-needed funds for animals in their care. The event runs all day Thursday right here on Dayton 24/7 Now, but you don't have to wait to give. You can donate right now by scanning the QR code on your screen or by texting EPIC 23 to 76278. Again, EPIC 23 to 76278.
Well, just to give you more numbers, Super Bowl 57 is fast approaching, and the game can be seen this Sunday over on our sister station, Fox 45. One of the storylines this week, of course, is the Kelsey brothers facing one another. But as Peyton Headley reports, they're not the only siblings ready for the big game.
I love football. I love watching football.
With frames on the walls, Mahomes signed footballs on the dressers, and hats hung around the house, it's clear Donna Gunn has been a Chiefs fan for a while.
As long as I can remember.
But her twin sister, born minutes after her, now living 1,100 miles away, has some different decor.
Shrine to the Eagles. I see it.
Linda and Donna are identical in their looks and their laugh. But Linda is an Eagles fan. Donna clearly is not.
Welcome to Eagle Country. We're not there. We're in Chiefs Kingdom. Fly, Eagles, fly. My Kelsey is better.
Ahead of the Super Bowl, they've been exchanging some friendly family fire.
Our Kelsey is bigger than your Kelsey.
The topics ranging from the players to the food.
Philadelphia cheesesteak. Linda, you want to see my sandwich? Yeah, okay, so I do love barbecue.
As competitive as they are, this matchup is something they've always hoped for.
And we both love each other's teams, we really do.
Both are confident in their colors.
So are you going to be sad when you lose? No, I'm not going to be sad at all.
In Liberty.
Linda, you're still there.
Peyton Headley.
I don't know how to get rid of you.
KMBC 9 News.
Our time right now is 6:52. Still to come this morning, Capitol Hill looking into the suspected spy balloon. At 7 on Fox 45, John Lawrence previews the hearing set this week from both the Senate and the House.
This morning, President Joe Biden says he is getting ready. Tonight, all eyes will be on the U.S. Capitol for his second State of the Union address.
Dayton 24/7 Now's Alex King is live with what you can expect. Alex.
Yeah, well, between recent mass shootings, economic concerns, and the Chinese spy balloons, many are wondering what this year's State of the Union address will include. According to the Associated Press, there are a number of topics to be on the lookout for. Gun violence in America and the suspected spy balloons that was shot down this past weekend off the coast of the Carolinas are possibilities. The president could also weigh in on high inflation and the impact it could continue to have on the economy.
And so that's one thing you're going to hear directly from the president, that a core part of any viable economic strategy needs to answer the question of how are you going to keep lowering costs for families. The president will outline specific ideas on how to do that, including building on the prescription drug reforms that we were able to enact to give more people the relief from prescription drugs.
Some are also expecting the president to speak on the war in Ukraine. He's continuously said the U.S. is committed to helping. You can watch the State of the Union address on Fox 45 and ABC 22 tonight at 9, and we will continue team coverage with local political science experts after the address concludes. Back to you guys.
And following President Biden's State of the Union, Dayton Mayor Jeffrey Mims will give his own address. Now, he will be giving the State of the City speech tomorrow morning at 8:30 at the Dayton Metro Library on East 3rd. He's expected to talk about Dayton's accomplishments for the past year and his plans moving forward. Of course, our cameras will be there, and of course, we'll bring you everything he says. So make sure to tune in to ABC 22, but you can catch it live over on Fox 45 beginning right around 8:30 tomorrow morning.
Today marks 24 years since 9-year-old Erica Baker went missing. Her case gaining national attention through the Dayton 24/7 Now podcast, Missing Erica Baker. Now, February 7th, 1999, Erica put on a raincoat, leashed up her dog, and started to walk through a Kettering park. She was never seen again. 2 decades later, her family and investigators are working to bring her home. Tonight at 6:30 on Fox 45, Dayton 24/7 Now talks with a new detective keeping this case from going cold, and her dad, who's still fighting to keep her memory alive. You can download the Missing Erica Baker podcast by scanning the QR code right there on your screen or by searching for it in your favorite podcast provider.
This morning, Dayton police taking to Facebook for another car theft update. 30 cars were stolen in the city this past week, but only 8 were Kias or Hyundais. Now, this is a map of where the thefts happened. The silver lining is the lowest single week total of stolen Kias and Hyundais since mid-July. So far this year, 11 people have been arrested for charges related to grand theft auto. And finding a gift for your Valentine can be expensive.
If you're still looking and don't want to go broke buying one, Megan O'Rourke has some ideas to stretch your dollar and still impress your loved one.
Good morning. According to Wallet Hub, every year U.S. consumers spend close to $24 million on Valentine's Day, making it the 3rd most expensive holiday. But with a little creativity, you don't have to sacrifice the sentiment. So here are a few ideas. First, make a romantic dinner together at home. Get dressed up and make a night of it. If cooking isn't your thing, take a trip down memory lane and recreate one of your favorite dates. Maybe you can stream the movie